Hi, I'm Kobe Phillips, the VP of the Cloud Practice here at Telarus. And today we're going to talk about the 5 Ds of cloud and the conversational framework that puts into place. I get asked a lot from partners about getting the right questions. Give me a list of questions I can ask and how do I open the door. And there's tons out there. We've got suppliers that have tons of great questions and lead-ins. The problem is understanding what response to have once the question's asked and the customer gives an answer. Unless you have a 20 different responses, it makes it a little bit tougher to feel comfortable with that. So instead, I really wanted to focus on giving you guys a conversational framework and a roadmap that you're going to be able to guide your customer down, and then come and get the right resources in our SE team or myself or anyone else here at Telarus that you think can be of value to helping you in that opportunity. And we'll go in arm in arm and work that opportunity together. But having the conversation with the customer is crucial and is always the first step. And with that, let's take a look at the 5 Ds and the conversational framework that it does set up for you. So with that, let's kind of kickstart it with what the 5 Ds are. You have discover, decide, design, define, and diagnose. So I wouldn't recommend trying to say these real quickly, especially not 3 times fast. It has not worked out for anyone who's given it an attempt. So with that, we are going to talk about discover. And with discover, it's everybody's using the cloud. How much is the question? And what we're really looking at here is setting up the other 4 Ds. And if you take nothing else away, take away the full 4 bullet points from discover, which is what business factors are driving the need to transform? How do we set up a flexible architecture to best support this transformation? Where will my applications and data live once the new architecture is completed? And how do we continue to optimize, secure, and update our environment? Let's dive into decide, which is the idea of picking the right strategy for the customer that you're helping with their transformation, and really kind of implementing yourself as that digital strategist for them. And the variables that we want to look at here, right, are once again, what are the key business goals and objectives for the digital transformation? Really need to understand if there's any industry-specific compliance and reporting that are required. And then really, this is also a tough conversation times. What's the competency of the staff that they have internally to make this transformation? And once we gauge that, we can move forward and start to talk about the design of what we're going to put together for them. And this is really where you start to try to figure out, make sure they understand their options of public, private, multi-cloud, hybrid, and what best suits their need, right? So we're always going to be looking to set up them in an agile environment. So it gives the end users the best support and allows for that flexibility as new technology emerges that they're going to be able to pivot to if needed to help giving them that competitive edge that we talked about in our first video and the key benefits of cloud. Then we're going to understand where the edges of the network are, where the physical and the virtual worlds are coming together and the end users are going to be consuming those applications and the data that they need to get to, and understand what geography we're actually building out our environment in. Then we're going to start to kind of put together the ability to select the suppliers that best fit their need, as we've hit on a couple of the first couple bullet points, and make sure that we're picking the best suppliers to come to the table for our customer. So after design, we're going to move to define, which is the 4th of the 5 Ds. So this is where we really start to kind of hone in on what is going to live where in this new architecture, and how that, in everything that we need to focus on, is always going to be around how it impacts the end user. So where are the apps going to live, and which ones should be migrated to the cloud, which ones aren't ready and they need to be refactored or just left in an on-prem environment. And then is there anything that we're moving to that are already, a custom or an easy package that are already based in the cloud, like a CRM, ERP package, etc., and that can be an easy migration over. So once we understand, the need that's driving the business, we start to design out the architecture. We got the suppliers picked out, they're coming in. We've done this cloud readiness assessment, which they're going to be handling most of that lift. But this is, once again, just to help prepare your customer for what's coming, right? And we've now defined what's going to live where. We've really got our architecture complete. And our job's not done though. So we want to start to always diagnose what we've done. And the key benefit, or one of the key benefits of cloud computing, is that ability for new technologies to emerge and customers to consume it. So you're always going to be looking to protect and optimize your environment. And with this, we're going to have continuous security reviews across all aspects of our environment. We're going to validate that the architecture is optimized for the best performance and ensure that no adjustments are needed or no new technologies come along that we need to pivot to. But because we put ourselves in a flexible architecture, we are going to be able to consume that when and if needed. And we're going to always continue to test and update our disaster recovery strategy. So there's a lot of different moving pieces around that the cloud brings to the table of a lot of cool DR aspects, and we'll want to make sure those are in place, tested, and ready to go when and if they're needed. So that wraps up the 5 Ds of cloud here at Telarus. And what I'm hoping that this gives you is that conversational framework and roadmap to help you walk your customers down as you start to engage in what the process is going to look like for their migration to the cloud. To hear some success stories where we've seen some legacy telco advisors utilize understanding the benefits of the cloud, then this conversational framework, and really making that shift from a telco advisor to a digital strategist, join the next video with myself and our VP of Engineering, Josh Lepresto, as we break down a couple of case studies. Have a great rest of your day.